Dang it, I read too much. I'm not gonna tell you. Gonna get myself into trouble. The influencer who starts a murder cult. Sign me all the way up. My kind of a book. I don't know why I just said that in like the weirdest way. I don't know what's wrong with me. What is even happening in this description? If you stay till the end of the video, you get a little bit of the scoop. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse and welcome to July's new releases. If you guys have been here for a minute, you know it's one of my favorite videos. If you are new here, welcome. I love to talk about books that are coming out. I love to talk about books that are already out. I love to talk about all things books. So today we are talking about what is coming out in July. Very long list. We're going to dive right into it. I say the same thing every month. I don't think there's a lot of books coming out. Then I start to research and I realize there's a whole bunch of books coming out and I am excited for a ton of them. So first up, let's talk about Party of Liars. This is by Kelsey Cox. This is a debut. I am currently reading it. This comes out on July 1st. And this centers around a Sweet 16 birthday in sort of this very lavish Texas town in this giant mansion. It is an adult book. The daughter of the protagonist, we get multiple POVs, is 16. It is Sophie. It is her birthday. So she's having a party at her dad's house. Her parents are divorced. Her friends are there. Her dad and his new wife live there and they're friends. And then her mom, who used to be in the social circle but is now kind of on the outskirts, is there. And suffice to say, somebody will not make it out of this party alive. My kind of a book. Multiple POVs. We have lots of great dark secrets. We have lots of wonderfully fabulous thriller things. I'm like, oosh, I don't want to say anything because things are happening. I'm like probably 85% of the way into it. So if you haven't seen my review on Instagram, by the time this video drops, you will see it before July 1st. I have a feeling this video might hit things first, might come out first. Anyway, check out my Instagram if you have not. Check out the review there. And I am just absolutely loving this book. So definitely rich people behaving badly. Definitely, like I said, dark secrets, past and present mysteries are going on, multiple POVs, a lot of like sinister happenings, all the things I love in a book. And it's absolutely fantastic. I love the cover of it as well. And I am highly recommending it, even though I'm not even done with it yet, but I'm very close. It scratches one of my sweetest spots and I'm absolutely loving it. So definitely check this one out. Party of Liars, Kelsey Cox. It's fantastic. Now we are going to move on to July 8th. We have a laundry list of books that are coming out. The first is one of my most anticipated. This is The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. I am 99.9% sure that I said that this was a sequel to 0 Days at one point. It's not. The Woman in Cabin 10 and The Woman in Suite 11. You would think, as someone who has almost read Ruth to zero, with the exception of 0 Days, that I would have picked up on that, but I did not. So, Woman in Cabin 10. This is the rest of that story. So we are back with Lo Blacklock, and it says she returns to attend the opening of a luxury hotel, only to find herself in a white-knuckled race across Europe. When the invitation to attend the press opening of a luxury Swiss hotel, owned by a reclusive billionaire, Marcus Leidman, arrives, it's like the answer to a prayer. 3 years after the birth of her youngest child, Lo Blacklock is ready to reestablish her journalism career. But post-pandemic travel journalism is a very different landscape from the one she left 10 years ago. The chateau on the shores of Lake Geneva is everything Lo's ever dreamed of, and she hopes she can snag an interview with Marcus. Unfortunately, he proves to be even more difficult to pin down than his reputation suggests. When Lo gets a late-night call asking her to come to Marcus's hotel room, she agrees. She is greeted, however, I feel like when you get the late-night call, you know it's not going to go well. She is greeted, however, by a woman claiming to be Marcus's mistress and in life or death jeopardy. Let's find out. Let's find out. So I will say I have seen a few early reviews where people said to reread The Woman in Cabin 10. I have not read that book since it came out. I feel like I remember the crux of it. I don't know. I might try and do a reread. When I did it for Hannah Morrissey, I was thrilled that I did the reread of Hello Transcriber before The Unlucky Ones. So you might catch me rereading. Stay tuned. I'll let you know. And I 1000% want to get the Barnes & Noble special edition of this one that has the painted edges because I'm here for all things beautiful. Okay, that's Ruth. Then we have Our Last Resort by Clemence Michelon. I am also super excited for this one. I actually have an e-arc of this, but I am 100% going to be picking up the physical copy of it because I have no doubt I'm going to fall in love with this book. So she wrote The Quiet Tenant, which was like if Luke Dane from Gilmore Girls was a serial killer. It's so dark and so amazing. Highly recommend. This one, standalone, has nothing to do with her first book. It says, 15 years ago, Frida and her brother escaped a cult. Love a cult book. Now her brother is the prime suspect in a murder investigation, and it isn't the first time. This is a case of like, don't need to know anything else. I am all in on this book. Innocence doesn't bail you out. It just makes you easier to trap. I'm going to give you guys a little bit because I'm going to like read this through horror movie fingers. I don't want to know too much. Okay, Frida and Gabriel arrive seeking a fresh start at the stunning Aura Hotel in the secluded desert of Escalante, Utah. Everybody out there who likes to correct me because I don't know how to say things, have at it. Okay, they arrive at a secluded place in Utah. Once so close, they were able to finish each other's sentences. They've grown apart in recent years after a sudden unspeakable tragedy. Now at the Luxe Resort, they're ready to reconnect between dips in the pool and hikes on the spectacular desert trails. It all feels like paradise until the dead body of a beautiful woman who is vacationing at the Aura with her powerful, much older husband is discovered. And that is all we want to know. So immediately it's giving me a little bit of the Sanitarium by Sarah Pierce vibes because it was a brother-sister reconnecting. That was a secluded place in the Swiss Alps. We're going to find out. Gorgeous cover. Love her writing. The Quiet Tenant was so good. I have very high hopes for this one, and I am super excited for it. All right, now we are going to do a complete 180, and this is Totally and Completely Fine by Alyssa Sussman. This book, I feel like was supposed to come out last year. I feel like I've talked about it before. Better late than never. Here it is. So she wrote Funny You Should Ask, which I have somewhere. Oh, she also wrote Once More with Feeling, which I have not read yet. But Funny You Should Ask was like low-key based on a journalist who like spent the weekend with Chris Evans, not like salaciously, but like was interviewing him. And she turned it into this amazing book. It was such a good book. I totally loved it. Anyway, it was like a Hollywood star and a journalist and an interview and all the things. So I'm very excited she has a new book. So this says it's an inspiring romance novel about honoring the past, living in the present, and loving for the future. In her small Montana hometown, Lauren Parker has assumed a few different roles. Teenage hellraiser, sister of superstar Gabe Parker, and most recently, tragically widowed single mother. She's never cared much about labels or what people thought about her, but dealing with her grief has slowly revealed that she's become adrift in her own life. Then she meets the devilishly handsome actor Ben Walsh on the set of her brother's new movie. They have instant chemistry, and Lauren realizes that it has been far too long since someone has really and truly seen her. Her rebellious spirit spurs her to dive headfirst into her desire, but when a sexy encounter becomes something more, Lauren finds herself balancing old roles and new possibilities. So we have Smalltown Rumors, the complications of Ben's fame and her daughter's unpredictable moods. An unexpected fling seems simple at the time, so when did everything with Ben get so complicated? And is there enough room in her life for the woman Lauren wants to be? Now, if memory serves, this is an offshoot from Funny You Should Ask. Let me make sure I'm not misremembering this, because in my head I'm like, yeah, she's the sister. Yes, she's the sister. So Gabe Parker is the actor in book number 1. I don't know that you necessarily need to read them. I think it's more of just fun when a character crosses over, but his sister is in the first book a bit. So anyway, if you're looking for more books to read, there you go. But I'm excited for this one. Okay, now we're going to 180 again to How to Survive a Horror Story by Mallory Arnold. Flip-flop all over the place. This one is giving me books about writers. 7 authors enter the manor. Can they survive the story within? Locked room. Maybe it's an and then there were none. Let's find out. When legendary horror author Mortimer Queen passes, a group of writers find themselves invited to his last will and testament reading, expecting a piece of his massive fortune. Each have their own unique connection to the literary icon, some known, some soon to be discovered, and they've been waiting for their chance to step into the author's shoes for some time. Instead, they arrive at his grand manor and are invited to play a game. The rules are simple: solve the riddle and progress to the next room. If they don't, the manor will take one of them for itself. Yikes. You see, the Queen estate was built on the bones of Mortimer's family, and like any true horror story, the house is still very, very hungry. So clever locked room thrills of everyone in my family has killed someone, a book I absolutely love, with the ghostly horror of the fall of the House of Usher. How to Survive a Horror Story is a bright, biting thrill ride that begs us to contemplate how the best horror stories come to be. Put a bunch of writers in a house and watch them try to survive. We all know I would be dead first. It's fine. I know my place in a horror movie, but I'm here for it. Looks like a fun time. I really enjoy the cover, and I love an isolated mystery. So, happy reading. The next book is one I feel like I have seen all over Instagram with people I follow. Some of them calling it their favorite book of the year already, which is big shoes. This is Nightw Watcher by Daphne Woolscroft. This looks extremely creepy. I'm extremely intrigued. Anyone who's like calling best book of the year already, I want to know. So Nola Strait, a late night call-in radio host in Portland, Oregon, or Oregon, if you've been here for a while, in Portland, Oregon, listens to stories of hauntings and cryptic sightings for a living. But one foggy, wet evening, when a caller describes an eerie scene that triggers memories of Nola's escape from a serial killer years before, she becomes fearfully aware that he's back to finish what he started. I do love a serial killer book. Okay, Nora Strait's being watched again. After an encounter with a notorious serial killer in the Pacific Northwest as a child, Nola has grown up and tried her best to forget her traumatizing night with the hiding man. Yikes. She installed security cameras outside her Oregon home, never spoke of her experience, and now hosts Nightw Watch, a popular radio call-in show her semi-famous father used to run. When coincidences lead Nola to believe that she's being stalked, and a caller on Nightw Watch has a live incident with an intruder in the caller's home, what? The description of whom is chillingly familiar. Nola, her name's Nola. She's convinced that the hiding man has resurfaced and is coming for her. So, don't want to know anymore. It has 4.17 stars on Goodreads, 321 ratings. I don't know, I'm super intrigued, you guys. I'm super intrigued, but I'm seeing a lot of love for this one. And like, I don't want to read all of it. So that somebody's like totally terrifying. I initially, when I was typing it in, Night Watching by Tracy Sierra came up. So I feel like it might have like a similar but different Give Audrey Nightmares, but I'm going to read it anyway, because what's the fun if I'm not scaring myself completely? So anyway, this one's on my list. Okay, let's make another complete pivot to culpability. This is by Bruce Holsinger. So he wrote the book The Gifted School, which, make no mistake, I haven't read it yet. It's 100% over there somewhere. I don't remember where I read about it being an amazing book, but I did, and then I got it and, plopped it on the shelf. So, from the best-selling author of the wise and addictive The Gifted School, we have a riveting family drama set on a summer rental in the Chesapeake Bay about moral responsibility in the age of artificial intelligence. I know AI is not a buzzword, but we're gonna press on. So when the Cassidy Shaw's autonomous minivan collides with an oncoming car, killing an elderly couple, 17-year-old Charlie is in the driver's seat, with his father Noah riding shotgun. In the back seat, tweens Alice and Izzy are on their phones, while their mother Lorelei, a world leader in the field of artificial intelligence, is absorbed in her work. Yet each family member harbors a secret implicating them all in the tragic accident. What? During a week-long recuperation on the Chesapeake Bay, the family confronts the excruciating moral dilemmas triggered by the crash. Noah tries to hold the family together as a seemingly routine police investigation jeopardizes Charlie's future. Alice and Izzy turn strangely furtive, and Lorelai's odd behavior tugs at Noah's suspicions that there's a darker truth behind the incident. Suspicions heightened by the sudden intrusion of Daniel Monet, a tech mogul whose mysterious history with Lorelai hints at betrayal. When Charlie falls for Monet's teenage daughter, yikes, the stakes are raised even higher in this propulsive family drama that's also a fascinating exploration of the moral responsibilities and ethical consequences of AI. That feels more disturbing than I realized. I did not read the entire description. Again, if you guys have been here for a minute, you know I don't always read the full description until I film this video, because a lot of what draws me to a book is cover, vibes, authors I've already read before, one-liners at the top, like writers at an isolated place and maybe they won't all get out alive. So here we go. I don't know. I'm intrigued. It has 4.3 stars, which I know reading is subjective, but I'm super curious. I am super, super curious about this one. I also really love this cover. The way the writing is on it. I don't know. Let me know. Have you read this? Have you read The Gifted School? Let me know. Okay, let's move into July 15th. We are going to start with a special edition of a Geneva Rose book, and it is called The Girl I Was. So I read this a while ago. I read One of Us is Dead first out of all of her books, and then I kind of went backwards and caught up, and I still have a lot of work to do, but I loved this one. So this was like a very, like if you had a second chance to do it all over again, but it was so wickedly funny. It was very emotional. I very much got drawn into this book. I don't own the physical copy of it. I borrowed it from my library, so I'm tempted to get this. And I feel like there's two special editions, I want to say, like this one, and then I feel like Barnes & Noble also has a special edition. So I don't know if anybody is into her or interested, but this is like a contemporary with some time travel. It's very different from like A Perfect Marriage. So maybe this will appeal to some. I highly recommend it. But it says, Alexis Spencer will use any inspirational quote to rationalize her failures and shortcomings. Her closest friends are a distant memory, and her college debt is still as high as the day she left. But that's all fine and dandy because whatever will be, will be. However, when Alexis loses her job and her relationship on the same day, there's no quote strong enough to help her cope. In typical fashion, she blames the world for her problems, including her younger self, who should have tried harder. Feeling sorry for herself, Alexis finds a bottle of vodka from her college days and goes on a bender, blacking out in the process. Only this time she doesn't wake up at home or even in the right city. In fact, she isn't even in the right year. So not a spoiler alert because it happens immediately in the book. She wakes up at a fraternity house at her college, but she is current age Alexis, and then she meets past Alexis, and it really is very, very funny. There's a lot of emotional tugs to this book. There's a lot of family relationship. It's wickedly fun. It might be one of my favorite Geneva Rose books. I absolutely love this one. So not a new release, but a new reissue of it. I just wanted to flag it for you guys. I really, really do love this book. And I just think her story as an author is just fantastic and goals and amazing and good for her. So anyway, just wanted to do a little shout out here to Geneva. All right. Not that she needs me to shout her out, but you know what I mean. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about The Lake Escape by Jamie Day. I read The Block Party a few years ago when it came out, which definitely had a cul-de-sac Desperate Housewife kind of a vibe. And it was like you opened up, something terrible happened at the block party, and then you go back a year to the block party from the year before and start to see what leads up to the thing. You know me, rich people behaving badly, past and present secrets. I love the neighborhood setting of it all. I had a very fun time with that one. So this one is, will this be the best week of their lives or the last? Julia, David, and Erica grew up together, spending summers at their idyllic Vermont lake homes for as long as they can remember. Now adults with their own sullen teens, endless mortgages, and low-voltage sex lives, the three friends have amassed secrets over the years. Counting on it. This summer, David is eager to show off his newly renovated home, which now blocks his friend's cherished lake views, whoops, and his much younger girlfriend. Oh, David. He also unwittingly brings a nanny with a hidden agenda. What could possibly go wrong? Hopefully everything. When David's girlfriend mysteriously vanishes after a shouting match, Julia and Erica wonder just how well they know their lifelong friend. I believe the next line of this description does not make any sense. So we've got questions. We have a past and present mystery. We have a search in the present day. Intricate web of lies, deceits, and betrayals spanning generations start to surface. And there's some darkness afoot at the lake escape. Will they escape? I hope, I don't know. I hope somebody does. I hope they don't all, because where's the fun in that in a thriller? But I'm very interested. So I had a raucous good time with her first book, and I'm very excited for this one. I feel like it'll be a good, like, I was going to say a good escape. Wasn't trying to be like that, but I love an escapist kind of a book. Be a good balance to the one that's going to give me nightmares. And then we have The Goldens by Lauren Wilson. This is pitched as dark, intoxicating, and unputdownable, simmering with atmosphere. I'm in. I love the cover of this. There is, I have to say, during the Google, a stunning special edition of this at Waterstones. Dang it. Why can't it be somewhere we can all get it, right? But there's a stunning Waterstone special edition of this book, but I will settle for this beautifulness. So we have Chloe, who has always dreamed of becoming a best-selling writer. Then she meets enigmatic influencer Clara Holland, and at last Chloe has something to write about. They bond instantly, and Chloe moves into Clara's mansion. But as Clara's fame skyrockets, she starts behaving strangely, hosting increasingly wild parties complete with bonfire rituals and moonlit river baptisms. Strange. Clara opens up her home to other girls desperate to live like her. The media calls it a cult, yes, and soon Chloe begins to hear unsettling rumors from Clara's past. After one spectacular party, a girl goes missing, and the rumors take on a sinister new meaning. Sinister new meaning. Not a meeting, a meaning. And if Chloe can't escape Clara's influence, she may be next. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. We love some dark and messed upness. Now, it's pitched, I don't know if it's pitched as young adult. It's listed as young adult. So I'm not sure how old they are, if she's dreaming of becoming a best-selling author. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm all in. But I did not think this was a young adult book. Let's see if we can get a smidge more about it. I don't see it pitched as young adult anywhere, and not for nothing. Like, the list price is $29, which usually a YA book is not that expensive. I don't know. We will see. I do love an influencer book. I do love a book about somebody who wants to be a writer. I love a book about writers. This is also a debut. So it just says, influencer starts a murder cult story. Yes. The influencer who starts a murder cult. Sign me all the way up. Please. Please, please, please. I'm in. I don't care what shelf they put it on. I'm in. The next book is Writers and Liars by Carol Goodman. And it says they'll kill for inspiration. I mean, I'm not raising my hand because of that. I'm raising my hand for the writer's part. Gotta get myself into trouble. All right, we have a group of mystery authors gathering on a secluded Greek island for a writer's retreat, only to discover that their enigmatic host has been murdered and everyone present is a suspect. There seems to be a bit of a theme to this month's books. Okay, they will kill for inspiration. So 15 years ago, Maya Gold attended a prestigious and very exclusive writer's retreat hosted by billionaire Argos Alexander on the Greek island of Eris. Might not be saying that right. It's where she wrote her first book, the one that should have launched a brilliant career, but something dark happened on that island, a betrayal that has hung over Maya ever since. Now Maya finds a familiar envelope in the mail. It's an invitation to return to Eris. And according to social media, she's not the only one from that first retreat who's been invited back. This could be the second chance Maya needs to jumpstart her dreams, or a chance for reconciliation or revenge. Almost all the writers from 15 years ago have returned to Eris, bringing unresolved resentments with them. Soon the guests learn that their illustrious host is absent, though he has left instructions for them to participate in a whoever can write the most suspenseful mystery while on the island to win a fortune and literary acclaim. I don't want to read anything else. Bunch of writers trapped on an island, vying for a prize. We know this is not going to go well. except hopefully for us as the reader, it's going to be fantastic. But love it, love it, love it. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Okay, the cover of this next book is really creepy, but we're going to roll with it. This is Matchmaking for Psychopaths by Tasha Coriel. Like the dolls on this really kind of freak me out. So Alexandra grew up hungry. Hungry for food, hungry for safety, hungry for love, which is why she's worked so hard to have it all. A beautiful home, a gorgeous doctor boyfriend, and an ambitious job matching individuals with unconventional emotional responses. Sure, her clients may sit somewhere on the psychopathy scale, but they're not dangerous. But they're not the dangerous, murderous kind. They're doctors and lawyers and teachers, and everyone deserves love. And that's exactly what Alex thinks she's found. Love. So she's floored when she arrives to her dinner with her boyfriend, expecting a ring in a little box, and instead finding her best friend sat at the table with him. They have news. They're together now. And apparently her birthday dinner is the best time to share the news. What? What is even happening in this description? Suddenly, Alex's world implodes. She has lost the two people in the world closest to her, her only support. She's utterly alone, her future in pieces. So when she unexpectedly bumps into a client, Rebecca, and Rebecca seems to want to be friends, it feels like a lifeline. And then bad things happen. Dang it! I read too much. I'm not going to tell you. I read too much. I am very happy for this friendship, which is really going to take us some places. I don't know. I loved the title of this. Just, you think you're going to get a ring and you find out your boyfriend is dumping you for your best friend? That is some rough stuff. So just over 100 ratings, but 4.13. I don't know. I feel like this sounds like a very fun time. I don't know. Is this a debut? Not a lot on the author here. I'm super intrigued. Oh, she wrote love letters to a serial killer. I knew that this sounded familiar. She wrote love letters to a serial killer. Have I read it yet? No. Judgment-free zone. Judgment-free zone. All right, let me move on. The next book is This Stays Between Us by Sarah Oakes. So she also wrote a book that I haven't read yet, that I need to Google so that I can find out what it is. She wrote The Resort. Haven't read it yet. Judgment-free zone. Okay, This Stays Between Us. Really enjoy this cover. We have You Can Never Escape, A Summer Abroad. 10 years ago, 6 college students meet in an Australian summer study abroad program, ready to enjoy the break from their studies and travel the country. Their program is meant to introduce them to the beauty of Australia and immerse them in an unforgettable cultural experience. Unforgettable cultural experience. It is the end of the day after a very long week, and I don't know how to put words together. Okay, in reality, it's a thrill of... In reality... Thank you for staying with me. In reality, it is a thrill-fueled summer of outdoor excursions, adrenaline rushes, alcohol, lust, and friendship turned wrong. When Phoebe, a troubled girl with jealousies and fractures spreading like wildfire between them all, suddenly disappears, presumed to have run away, no way, in a small outback town, the group decides to pack up and leave the past behind, all their secrets hidden for good. At least that's what they tell themselves. And then they get the call 10 years later. Phoebe's body has been found, and now it's time to return. And they are summoned back to Australia, and I don't want to know anything else. This is giving me a little bit of The French Girl by Lexi Elliott, but a group of college friends who rent a place, and a mysterious neighbor shows up, and then they're forced to return when some stuff happens. But I don't know. I'm super intrigued. Give me a bunch of like dysfunctional friends. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And I will read about it. Okay. Let's move into July 22nd. This first book excites me very, very much. It's called Ink Ribbon Red by Alex Pavesi. Or is it Pavesi? Pavesi? He wrote The Eighth Detective. Haven't read it yet. But I love the cover of this. I don't remember when I saw this book, but this one's been on my list for a while. I came across it, I don't know, during one of my searches earlier this year. It is pitched as Knives Out meets Saltburn. I'm in. Wickedly plotted thriller where a group of friends plays a deadly game that unwraps a motive for murder, perfect for fans of Agatha Christie and Alex Michaelides. In. Anatole invites 5 of his oldest friends to his family home in the Wiltshire countryside. Wiltshire, we're going to go with that. Wiltshire countryside to celebrate his 30th birthday. At his request, they play a game of his invention, Motive Method Death. The rules are simple. Everyone chooses 2 players at random and imagines a scenario where one kills the other and then writes it down as a short story. Points are given for making the murders feel real, as Anatole explains to the group. Of course, when given the assignment, it's only natural to use what you know. Secrets, grudges, affairs. But once you put it in a story, the secret is out. It's not long before the game has reawakened old resentments and brought private matters into the light of day. So with each fictional murder, someone new gets a very real motive. When murder is headed your way, will you be able to spot it in time? I'm so intrigued. I am so intrigued. The ideas for books. I am very excited about this one. It only has a 3.15 rating, which is a little bit of a bummer to see, but again, super subjective. There's plenty of books that I absolutely love that other people don't. So his first book, The Eighth Detective, only has a 3.51 and almost 20,000 reviews on here, but I've heard incredible things about this book. So I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt. I also feel like The Eighth Detective won an award of some shape or form. Neither here nor there. Anyway, if you're interested. But, I mean, Saltburn meets Knives Out. It's kind of like singing my song. Okay, let's get to a different murder mystery by the one and only Holly Jackson. And this is Not Quite Dead Yet. This is her adult thriller debut. So I loved the Good Girls Guide series. I thought those books were phenomenal. I've read the first one 3 times. I definitely read it twice. I don't even know if I read it a 3rd time. I loved that series. I thought it was outstanding. And I have very high hopes for this one. This is a twisty thriller about a young woman trying to solve her own murder. Interesting. In 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time. Until Halloween night when Jet is violently attacked by an unseen intruder. She suffers a catastrophic head injury. The doctor is certain that within the week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet has never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has at most 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only the childhood friend Billy for help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. Dun dun dun. I don't know, this one sounds fun. Sounds a little bit different than her other books also. I did read, I don't want to mess up the title. I read 5 Survive. I read Killjoy, which was the prequel to Good Girls. I didn't read The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which I feel like people liked more than 5 Survive. Let me know. But I never wound up reading The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I want to say there's another book I was looking at that compared it to Rachel Price. I don't know if it's something on this list. Might be the Kate Alice Marshall book. We're going to get to that in a little bit. That comes out on the 29th. Okay, let's get to another one on the 22nd. So we have Dead of Summer by Jessa Maxwell. She wrote The Golden Spoon, and she wrote the book that I read last year that I can't think of the name of it. It's a good thing this is not like a trivia question that I'm trying to do. I need you to read this. That was the book that she wrote that I read. So I haven't read The Golden Spoon yet. I keep pointing over here because I feel like there's like a whole bunch of unread books over here. But my issue is not the right word. I Need You to Read This was pitched as a thriller, but it was really more of a slow burn mystery. So there definitely was like an expectation miss there, but I still enjoyed the book. Very long conversation with very many people at Thriller Fest about mispitching books as thrillers. coming from a place that was called Thriller Fest, and it was every kind of book in the spectrum underneath the thriller umbrella. Anyway, so I'm going to manage my expectations here, and we'll see what happens. In terms of like mystery thriller. Anyway, Dead of Summer. Kind of, I'm looking at it now and I realize that it's water. Originally I was like, this has like a little bit of like a Star Wars episode 4, the original Star Wars. Come on, everybody, with like the sun, the creepy sun. Anyway, okay. Years after her best friend mysteriously disappeared from a remote New England island, a young woman returns in search of answers. I'm looking at my battery. Okay, we're okay. Orla O'Connor has been to the isolated New England enclave of Halden. We're going to start that one over. Orla O'Connor hasn't been to the isolated New England enclave of Hadley Island, since she graduated from high school a decade ago. As a teenager, her best friend Alice disappeared from its shores without a trace, but with plenty of rumors. That's a great line. Now Orla returns to her family's beachfront home to clean it out before her parents sell it. The island and her best friend's empty house next door are stirring up memories she would like to avoid. Then there are the locals, always gossiping and watching Orla's every move. Worst of all, David, Orla's childhood crush and son of a wealthy Manhattan family, is back for the summer with his new, impossibly pretty girlfriend, Faith. We don't like Faith. Meanwhile, local Henry hasn't left the house since Alice disappeared, in an attempt to let the accusations against him die down. Oh, Henry, but they never have. Orla's return has shaken him, and lately he's been seeing strange things through his telescope. Shadowy figures walking on the beach in the middle of the night, and a light on in an upstairs window of Alice's long-abandoned childhood home. Orla, David, and Henry find themselves pulled into an eerie mystery that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. I definitely skipped over some things. The blessing and the curse of doing these videos is sometimes I read more than I want to read. Anyway, I am intrigued. This one sounds fun. I liked her writing. I will definitely keep it on my radar as a book that I'm interested in. Okay, then the next book, I actually have it. Hold on, let me get it. I don't often have a physical book, but I am super grateful. I have Greenwich. This is by Kate Broad. I'm just going to take this piece of paper out. Does it say on the side? It just says July. So this was gifted to me by St. Martin's. Love this cover. It's very God in the Woods-esque with the paint dripping down. Right. Okay, we have summer 1999. If anybody dares to call this historical fiction, I will come through this camera. Summer 1999. Rachel Fisk is almost 18 when she arrives at her aunt and uncle's mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut. Her glamorous aunt is struggling to heal from an injury, and Rachel wants to help, and she wants to escape some trouble back home. But her aunt is oddly spacey, and her uncle is consumed with business, and Rachel feels lonely and adrift, excluded from the world of adults and their secrets. The only bright spot is Claudia, a recent college graduate, an aspiring artist, and the live-in babysitter for Rachel's cousin. As summer deepens, Rachel eagerly hopes their friendship might grow into more. And then they tell us a bunch of stuff that I don't want to tell you. So, riveting debut novel for readers of Celeste Ng and Leanne Moriarty, Greenwich explores the nature of desire and complicity against the backdrop of immense wealth and privilege. I almost said immersive wealth. Immense wealth and privilege. I just can't get over this. Cover is so beautiful. So is it going to be rich people behaving badly? Or is it going to be rich people doing I don't know what? It's definitely about rich people. And we're going to find out what it's all about. I'm very excited for this one. I am very grateful to St. Martin's. I will let you guys know. This is heartbreaking and complex. Stay tuned for a review on this one as well. Will be coming your way. I don't have anything near me to put it on. Okay, we're just going to tuck it next to me, and then we're going to keep on trucking. Okay. Then we are going to move into July 29th, and an author that I very much enjoy that I'm a little bit behind on is Sher Leena, and it's She Didn't See It Coming. This also has a stunning cover. I have read, I want to say maybe like half of her books, but I definitely have some work to do. So it says, when a beloved wife and mother disappears, a luxurious condo building transforms into a potential crime scene, and the investigation begins. Can the detective find her before it's too late? Bryden and Sam have it all. Thriving careers, a smart apartment in a luxury condo, supportive friends, and a cherished daughter. The perfect life for the perfect couple. Then Sam receives a phone call at his office. Bryden, working from home that day, has failed to collect their daughter from daycare. Arriving home with the little girl, he finds his wife's car in the underground garage. Upstairs in their apartment, her laptop is open on the table, her cell phone is nearby, and the keys are in their usual place in the hall. Except Bryden is nowhere to be seen. It's as if she just walked out. That is how you do a blurb of a book. It gives you just enough, but doesn't tell you all the things. It has 4.07 stars. 243 ratings. We will see. We will see. So she does a lot of suburban dramas. I don't know where this fancy condo is set. And, you know, once I get into it, we'll find out. But I really like her books. I really enjoy her characters. I find them just compulsive and fast-paced and like something you can like totally just like dive into and binge the heck out of. So on my list, love this cover, and I'll be checking it out at some stage. Mark my words. Now we're going to talk about an author that I've 100% slept on. I definitely have a couple of his books. This is Charlie Donley, and his new book is called Guess Again, and I want to read it. I was watching, I'm trying to think whose video I was watching. I know for sure that Kate from Book Wild has read a bunch of his stuff, but it was somebody else was talking about him recently. Anyway, I feel like it's one of those things where I'm just like seeing his name everywhere again all of a sudden. So here we go. New book. It says, on the 10th anniversary of a teenage girl's disappearance, her cold case breaks open in dangerous ways. I love that line also. And it threatens to tear apart her small Wisconsin town all over again. Masterfully twisty, new psychological suspense. So this is pitched just for fans of Riley Sager, Anna Downs, Alex Finley, Stacey Willingham, and Karen Slaughter. 10 years ago, 17-year-old high school volleyball star Kelly Jones vanished from her quiet Wisconsin lake community. Highly publicized search, but her body was never found. Cold case, the echoes of which are still lingering. Then we have Ethan Hall, a former renegade detective turned ER doctor, left law enforcement to escape the horrors of the kid crime division. But on the 10th anniversary of Kelly's disappearance, his former partner Pete Kramer makes a desperate request. Pete is the veteran detective who originally investigated the case. Now he's dying, and to ease his conscience and to get closure for the Jones family, he needs Ethan to return to the haunting work he left behind and solve what happened to Kelly once and for all. I'm not going to read anything else. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm not going to do it to you guys. If you want to read more, feel free. Links are down below for all of it. But this one sounds really good. I feel like I've always enjoyed a cold case. I love a past and present mystery, but I'm like particularly cold casey these days. I don't know why. I just am. I'm not here to explain it. It's the life of a mood reader. And I'm going to mood my way into this book. I don't know where to start with him. I mean, I feel like I should start with stuff that I already own, but we'll see. I definitely own, sidebar, The Girl Who Was Taken, and maybe Those Empty Eyes? I don't know. I definitely have The Girl Who Was Taken. I don't know. Have you guys read him? What would you recommend? Tell me everything and then some. And let's dive into the next book, which is Kate Alice Marshall. We are back to a YA book for her. So I originally read Rules for Vanishing, which was a YA book. She wrote some YA books, like some ghosty, supernatural kind of vibes to it. Then she wrote some adult thrillers, and now we have We Won't All Survive, which we are back into YA, and I like it. And here it is. This is the one for, I want to say that, talked about that Holly Jackson book, like for fans of the disappearance of Rachel Price. Let's bring it back to Kate Alice Marshall. Okay, 2 years ago, Mercy Gray was hailed as a hero for saving lives during a mall shooting. She still carries souvenirs from that incident. The fragment of a bullet lodged in her back, a mountain of medical debt, and guilt for ignoring her sister's warnings that the sweet boy next door was anything but. When billionaire-turned-TV host Damien Dare recruits Mercy to compete on his new survivalist reality show, she can't turn down a chance at the whopping cash prize that could send her sister to college. But when she and the other contestants arrive at the off-grid location, something isn't right. The set is empty, the gates close without warning, and they're trapped inside. Oh, this is why I would never do a reality TV show either. Then one of them turns up dead. Of course they do. Of course they do. So what appeared at first to be a tragic accident quickly transforms as more contestants start dying. With time and resources running low, surviving this show takes on a whole new meaning. I don't know if it's like a Hunger Games situation where they're offing each other, or if it's like an And Then There Were None where somebody's just coming for them. I don't know. 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 Very much enjoy her writing. I just wanted to put it on the list because I'm intrigued. So if you're looking for what sounds like an extremely dark and messed up young adult thriller, although I'm not sure how old she is, but it looks like it's classified as YA. Anyway, perhaps you want to give that one a go. All right, we are going to end on a much, much lighter note, but what I'm hoping is also going to have like a Desperate Housewives, rich ladies behaving badly kind of a vibe. This is Mean Moms by Emma Rosenbloom. A deliciously satisfying and suspenseful story about what happens when a clique of wealthy Manhattan private school moms start getting a taste of exactly what they deserve instead of what they can pay for. This one looks fun. Meet Frost, Morgan, and Nell, a wealthy, gorgeous group of New York City moms, the queen bees of downtown Manhattan. Their children attend Atherton Seminary, the top private school in the city, and their social lives revolve around elaborate themed parties. On the first day of school, the arrival of a new mom and mysterious beauty from Miami named Sophia shakes up their world. When Sophia quickly integrates herself into their clique, inexplicably bad things start to happen to the women. And I'm not going to tell you what the things are that happen to the women, because where's the fun in that? So, is someone out to get them? Let's not forget to mention the handsome headmaster, Dr. Broker, who every mom has a crush on, and one of them might be sleeping with. Yes. Rumors. Okay, spanning the course of one... I don't know why I just said that in like the weirdest way. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. Spanning the course of one eventful fall in New York, ending with a surrealist New Year's Eve ball. Mean Moms is part satire of upper crust momming and part mystery, interrogating the line between friendship and jealousy, and getting at the question, what would happen if the woman standing next to you at school pickup was actually a sociopath? We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know. This one looks so fun. So she wrote Bad Summer People, which I enjoyed, which was like the Hamptons getaway group of friends, dark and messed up. And then she wrote Very Bad Company, which I have not read yet, but I have it. Don't judge me. And it was like a company retreat and bad things start to happen to people. So she's here for the bad things happening. And I'm here for the bad things happening. So let's go. We're going to end with Mean Moms. We're going to end with Mean Moms. And that is my list for July, you guys. What are you most excited about? What have you already read? I'm very excited for Ruth Ware. Is anybody else going to reread The Woman in Cabin 10? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me which books you want to read first. I, full disclosure, have not read a book in 2 weeks. I've listened to a couple audiobooks, but have not like picked up any pre-order that I have. I haven't touched my Riley Sager book yet. I started The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I was at Thriller Fest last week. Tea is coming. Not really tea. I am going to film a recap, which you guys will see next. See, if you stay till the end of the video, you get a little bit of the scoop. So I did not read a lick when I was at Thriller Fest. I have been working on my own book, which makes reading very hard for me. Do I get seduced into watching Mets games all the time? I absolutely do. Is work kicking my butt all over town? It absolutely is. So the risk of adding more books to the pile. Wait till you see the book haul. Wait till you see what I did at Thriller Fest. I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. But I'm really excited for a lot of these books. So Clemence Michelin for sure, Ruth Ware for sure, and we'll see where else the month takes me. But let me know what July book is bursting your list. Let me know what you're reading lately. Let me know what you recommend for Charlie Donley. Just let me know everything and then some, and we will take it from there. So Thriller Fest wrap up, chitter chat coming up. Obnoxiously obscene, ridiculous book haul from the past couple months, including, did I buy another bag at Thriller Fest so I could carry the books home? Yes, no judgment. I need to catch you guys up on books I actually have read, because I have read books, just not in the last 2 weeks. I haven't really read books, and other than Party of Liars, but I'm thinking about the pile of books that's sitting over there. Thinking about the non-arcs that I had to have. And I feel like I was going to tell you guys something else. Books I've read recently, book haul, Thriller Fest. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's something else. We'll get there when we get there. Okay. Anyway, until then, if you've made it this far, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye, everybody.